Hello, how are you all doing? Happy Bank Holiday Monday, which is rather exciting. And how warm is it today? Absolutely gorgeous. Stunning outside. So what are you all up to? Are you all kind of just carrying on as normal today, or are you doing something slightly different? Tell me what you're up to today. It doesn't feel like a bank holiday in this house, I have to say. It feels more or less the same as any other day. Let's pop you guys in here so that I can go a bit hands-free. We are having a little bit more of a lazy day, I suppose. Let me pull this through. So yeah, I suppose that's probably more like a bank holiday, isn't it? It's a little bit lazy. Even Stitch is having a little snooze over there. I think the cats are all vegged out somewhere as well. I think it's too warm for them. How are you doing? Hi Cheryl, hi Lynn. No work today. Yeah, I suppose because you've still been working. Yeah, so I'm kind of the same. I'm still doing work. I'm still doing bits and pieces. Cheryl, you're trying to persuade Paul to paint. Yes, Paul, if you can hear me, Paul, come and paint. Be creative on your day off. I'm assuming he's got today off. What have we got on? Jane's lying in the sun outside. Excellent. It is gorgeous out there, I have to say. It is beautiful and warm. So I kind of picked the right day to paint ice cream, because that's what we're going to be painting today with our watercolours. We're going to paint some ice cream. Hi Joe, thanks for joining us. How you doing? Cara from the Philippines, hello, thanks for joining. Yeah, so it's been, what a fabulous week we had last week as well, with all of the createness stuff that we were doing. So not only were we doing the oil pastels, but we had all the doodle chats. There were some amazing little gems that kind of came out of those, chatting to different people about creativity and their mental health. Absolutely fantastic conversations. What else did we do? We had the journaling talk, the Q&A. Thank you for those who joined me for the Q&A as well. That was fantastic. Thank you very much. So yeah, it was a great week for createness. We had loads of fun. Did anyone do the weekend challenge? Did anyone do your chalk drawings of a dance outside? I am going to film mine later. I haven't had a chance to get out this morning to film it. But I will film mine later and I'll pop it on the Facebook page. So yeah, if you've had a chance to do that, do pop that on. What have we got? Having lunch in the garden. Excellent. Am I going to do pencil and charcoal drawings? Yes, eventually. Yes, I will. So we've had a couple of drawing weeks, although one was more expressive drawing. But yeah, if people are interested in that. Yeah, definitely. Charcoal is a great medium to use. Yeah, it's a really lovely medium to use. So yeah, definitely we'll look at that. Cheryl, you're going to talk later today. Excellent. Thank you, Cara. Cara loves my hair. I know, but look at the roots coming through. That is not good. I'm missing my hairdresser very much. So you can see my normal boring colour coming through. Hi Chris and Doris with us. Excellent stuff. So we're going to be painting. So hopefully you guys have got your watercolour paints. Hopefully you guys have got a piece of watercolour paper. We're going to work in portrait today for our ice creams, and hopefully you've got some water and some brushes with you. So hopefully you've got all of those. Excellent stuff. Oh, I've just seen Paul's joined. Does that mean Paul's painting? Hopefully that means Paul's painting. Right, so I'm going to lower you guys down so that you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. And hopefully you've got all of your bits with you to join in. If you're just watching, don't worry, you can watch and you can catch up later. Let's move that there. Can you guys all see that? Hopefully you can. Paul said he can't paint. Paul, there is no such word as can't paint. Honestly, you can. I promise you can. Promise you can. Even Lynn's saying yes, you can. Excellent stuff. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to paint for our ice creams is the cone, because our ice creams always need a cone to sit on. So I'm just going to paint the cone probably about 1/3, maybe just less than 1/3 of the page, and I'm just going to paint a V shape and colour it in, but we're going to keep it really, really light colour. So I'm actually going to put it on here, I think, because I want it, I've got my lightest brown, and I'm going to keep it very, very light. Very, very light. Because we're going to make, this is going to be a waffle cone. So we're going to keep it nice and light so that we can put our waffle bits on later. So keep it really nice and light there. Maybe a tad more colour. So it's just under a third of the page that I'm using for this. And we're going to paint that first because we're actually going to let that dry, so that we can paint the little squares that you get in waffle cones. We're going to paint those on afterwards. So ice cream. What's your favourite flavour? I can't speak today. What's your favourite flavour ice cream? What's your favourite? I think mine is probably coconut. I'm very much loving a coconut flavour. I think Ed's would probably be chocolate. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to do strawberry. So again, I'm going to use the water to mark out where that ice cream is going to go first, and then add the pigment in. The pigment will only spread as far as you put the water. So I'm going to come and curve here, so you can see I've got a slight pink tinge there. Hopefully you guys can see this. Pistachio, Doris is saying. Oh, I do like pistachio actually. I haven't had pistachio ice cream in a long time. Long time. Strawberry. Good, Lynn, I'm glad it's strawberry because I'm kind of doing strawberry at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more pink in there because it's a little bit purple for me, that bit. And then I'm just going to drag the pigment over. Don't worry about rounding off the top because we're going to put another ball of ice cream on top. So it's going to have quite a straight edge top to that. There we go. You can take it right down to the cone at the bottom. Now what I'm doing over here is I'm just bringing it out a little bit. So we've gone in and then bringing it out almost as if it's starting to melt. So it's just starting to melt there. I'm going to add just a little bit more pigment in there as well. And again, in your actual ice cream ball that you've got there as well, you can add just a little bit more pigment in different places, because you know you get that kind of uneven swirl of colour sometimes, don't you? I think I might bring the ice cream down here a little bit as well, just so it looks like it's just starting to melt over the cone. Let me hold that up. I don't think that's too wet to hold up. So hopefully you guys can see what I've done just at the edges there, at the edges and the bottom. And don't worry about getting it too even. So you can really see the splodges that I've got. So can you see how uneven that colour is? We want it to be like that because it's not ever, unless you're using a lot of E numbers and colourings, it's never a perfectly even tone. There we go. Just added a little bit on there. So we're going to go back to the cone. So hopefully your cones are a little bit drier. And we're going to go for a little bit more. I'm going to actually mix the two browns up this time. So I've got a more reddy brown in this palette. And then I've got a slightly darker brown there as well. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's a little bit dark in here today. So there's a reddy brown and a darker brown that I've got. So I'm just mixing those two together, just to get a nice even colour. So with the cones, this is a waffle, we're going to paint the squares and then use the water to spread the pigment. So And again, don't worry about getting them too even. They're never going to be that even on here anyway. Waffle cones are always a bit wobbly, aren't they? So we don't mind wobbly. So hopefully you guys can start to see that pattern coming out there. And I'm just going to do 2 rows. Let me lift that up so you guys can see what I'm doing on the cone. So you can see that pattern there. And then I'm going to use the water to almost colour in the centre of each of those squares so that that pigment really spreads within it. So you get a nice outline. But then you still get a soft edge on the inside. There we go. So hopefully you guys can see that. Roz has joined us. Hello. So can you guys see that you've got that nice soft inside now? You've got that real kind of pack of colour coming through. And then you're going to keep going like that. So I'm going to put in, because you know waffle cones, when they come round, they've always got a really wobbly edge all the way down. So I'm going to put that edge in. So I'm just going to put that edge in there. So you can see my nice wonky wobbly line. And that's going to be where the cone wraps round. So keep going with your squares on there. I'm going to work fairly quickly. And actually I might finish some of these later, so that we can get on with the rest of the ice creams and then finish off. And again, they do not have to be perfect. You know, please don't get your ruler out. That's not really what watercolours is all about. Right, I'm going to do this first lot and then I'm going to let it dry. So I'm just doing one side of my wobbly line. Okay. There we go. A little bit of water just to infill the middle of each of those squares. Keeps it nice and soft. Definitely I'm going to go and eat some ice cream after doing this one. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that there. So we're going to do our next scoop of ice cream. And this time I'm going to go for a mint choc chip. So I'm going to go for a really nice light green, a really limey, minty colour green. So don't forget to mix those colours well. So use the yellow in that. If you want a little bit of a tinge of blue, that can sometimes look really nice actually. Mint choc chip. I do like mint choc chip as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, again, just curve that round. It doesn't have to, again, be a perfect smooth circle or anything like that. Lynn got too far behind. We'll watch for now and catch up later. Don't worry at all. I'm only speeding these up because I'm aware people have got kind of other things to do. But yeah, you can absolutely watch later. Or add in, you know, the squares are probably what takes the time. The squares on the waffle cone is probably what takes the time. So, you know, you can always do those later. Once you've got a couple, so you're happy with the technique, you can definitely catch up with those later. So mint choc chip. Let's carry on with our mint choc chip. Hopefully you guys can still see this. Let me just close this down so I can see what's going on. There we go. And again, just use the water to really bring this across. We are going to do one more scoop on top, so I'm going to keep that fairly flat, this one. There we go. Oh, I've got a little hair in there from my brush. That's annoying. Take that out when that's dry. Let's add a little bit more green in there. This is quite a fluorescent green actually for mint. It's quite a Nice fluorescent green. I might just add a little bit of blue into there. There we go. I'm just going to add in some more pigment up here again, because we just really don't want that even look. Okay, we also want to have a couple of drips, so I'm going to add in some of that pigment here so that it drips on top of that pink. And again, over on the other side. So I will hold this up in a second so you guys can see where I'm at. So can you guys see that I've just put in those couple of drips at the top there? And then what I'm going to do, because I want the top scoop is going to have some really good drips coming down. So what I'm going to do is just use the water to just drop into a couple of bits on the top here, just so we get less green, less pigment. And you can use kitchen towel with that as well, so you could kind of dab away with the kitchen towel to lift the pigment off. I'm just going to use the water here for a minute so that I can put those drips on. There we go. So can you guys see those really nice big white bits at the top there? Don't worry, Lynn, you can catch up as and when. Do not worry. Watch it for now. So I'm going to add in some more of these squares while that ice cream dries. Now when you come to do the second half, so this bit here, you want the squares going in a slightly different direction because of where the cone's wrapped round. So I'm going to do my squares, actually I'm going to do them in a completely different direction. There we go. So I will hold this up in a second so that you can see a bit clearer, but hopefully you guys can see. And they're kind of going to disappear underneath the other top of the cone. So can you see that they've gone in a slightly different direction, just to show that that top of the cone is kind of wrapping around. Okay, and then you just use the water again to soften up that middle bit. A little bit of water. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. So, flavour of the top one. What shall we do? What about a nice purpley one? So it's like a blackberry flavour. That would be very nice, I think. I'm gonna, yeah, let's go for it. Let's do a nice purpley one. Let's get a nice purple colour going. Blueberry or blackberry. Not quite sure which. So again, I'm going to take this colour. Now this time we're going to go all the way around at the top because this is our last scoop of ice cream. It's a nice big one as well. So we're going to go all the way around. And this is where it's going to come in here as well. So it's going to drip down there. They're not quite dry yet, so I'm going to wait to do that bit. And then just fill the whole of the inside with a little bit of water so that we can really lift that pigment up. There we go. So obviously you guys do not have to have the same flavours or the same colours as me. You can pick your own. So I'm just adding some dots of the darker purple in here as well, to really lift it. And I think I might add just a little bit of the kind of pinky reds that I've got, the kind of scarlet reds. I think it's making Rod's hungry too. Just so we get that kind of really nice bold colour in there as well. There we go, and you can see how that water is just really helping it spread, really helping the pigments blend into each other. How's my mint choc chip doing? I think we could probably just about do those. So we're just going to bring a couple of drips down. So we can do a nice big one here. And a slightly smaller one there. It's really melting into it. There we go. How's that? Not looking too bad. Now, the last thing we need to do is add our choc chips into our mint. So again, you're not going to necessarily see the whole of the chocolate chips in here, are you? But just little flecks of it. Nice big chocolatey chunks. There we go. How's that? Does it make you hungry? It does me. So, one beautifully finished triple layer of ice cream, all ready for the summer sun. So again, if like Lynn was saying, you know, she'll just watch now and catch up later. If you feel that you're rushing, please don't. Do just watch the video again, watch it on catch up later. And enjoy the sun. Enjoy the sun today. Enjoy the warmth. It's absolutely gorgeous out there. I think I'm definitely going to get out there this afternoon. I might do that with, I might eat my dinner outside. It would be lovely. Jane's just said she's going to have an ice cream cone after this. Yeah, I think I'm definitely having ice cream this afternoon. Yeah, coconut is my favourite flavour, so that is what I will be having this afternoon. Enjoy, guys. Don't forget to post the pictures below of your ice cream cones that you've done, whatever flavours you've decided to choose to paint. Or even if you do them later, don't forget to post them. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. Tomorrow you will need watercolour paper, watercolour paints, paintbrushes, a jar of water, and you'll also need something fairly large to draw a circle with. So something that will kind of fit within your page, so that we can get a nice circle going, like a small plate or something like that would be great to draw a nice circle with. See you all tomorrow at 2 PM. Thank you so much for joining me on Bank Holiday Monday. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.